Capital News tonight. President Samia Suluhu Hassan has led an emergency cabinet meeting on the precision airplane crash that caused the deaths of 19 people. A land dispute in Handeni District, Tanga region has stopped construction of the East Africa Road. And in sports, the NBC Premier League will proceed during the Qatar World Cup. Good evening. This is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Vanessa Victor. Let's kick things off with the national news. The President of the United Republic of Tanzania has led an emergency cabinet meeting at State House in Chamwino, Dodoma, where the preliminary report of the precision airplane accident was submitted. At the meeting, the President directed local and foreign experts to work together to conduct an in-depth investigation on the source of the accident, which took place on November 6th this year and caused the deaths of 19 people.
Ajali hizi zinapotokea, ziko hatua tatu muhimu zinazofanyika katika uchunguzi.
When accidents like this happen, there are three important steps taken during investigation. The first is the investigative team for the plane accident gives its accident report within 14 days. This is followed by a preliminary report which is given within 30 days. Then a final report will be submitted within 12 months on the accident. The cabinet meeting has directed that our local experts work with experts from outside the country during investigations. The government has called on the public to be calm as the investigation continues, and they will be informed once the report is submitted.
The Managing Director of Precision Air Company, Patrick Mwanri, has said that they've started the process to compensate families affected by the plane accident that took place earlier this month. He said the payment process will be a confidential one between the company and the victims.
Na hivi tunavyoongea tayari taratibu zile zimeshaanza na wale wahusika tumeshaanza kuwasiliana nao ili waweze kupata taarifa rasmi ya nini kinachohitajika kutoka kwao na taratibu zote zikoje. Na niwaeleze tu kwamba kama alivyosema yule mkurugenzi mkuu kwamba taratibu na sheria ambazo zinatuongoza katika swala hili nazo zitatumika katika swala hili. Hili sio swala tu la kwetu locally, ni swala ambalo linahusisha jumuiya ya kimataifa katika mambo ya sekta ya anga.
And the construction of the East Africa Road from Kenya, passing through Pangani, Handeni districts in Tanga region to Bagamoyo district in Coast region, has been unable to continue due to a dispute at Kwamsisi village in Handeni district, Tanga region, after an investor opposed construction activities to continue until he is paid compensation of 1,700 million shillings.
Hapa kama nilivyosema ni ili jiwe tulilopo sasa hivi. Nimesema kwamba imetokea.
The challenge we face right now is we have discovered that the rock which we searched for and tested is owned by someone else who has the mining license. So our contractors cannot take it until they come to an agreement with the owner.
Tenda imetangazwa tarehe mwezi wa 4, lakini mwezi wa 5 tayari kuna mtu amechukua leseni.
The tender was announced in April, but in May, someone had already taken a license. It has caused delays with the contractor being unable to start working. We therefore ask relevant authorities to take necessary measures so that construction of this road is completed.
Milioni 17 ameshalipwa mkandarasi kama malipo ya awali. Lakini ameshindwa kuendelea ni kwa sababu ya mambo yalivyotokea.
The contractor has already been paid 17 billion shillings, but he has failed to continue due to the way things occurred in sourcing the rocks.
The number of deaths caused after the Arusha Express bus company coming from Arusha and heading to Mbeya accident got into a head-on collision with the lorry yesterday at Mzakwe area in Dodoma region has gone up to 7 after one of the accident victims passed away while receiving treatment at Dodoma Referral Hospital.
Tulipokea majeruhi 22 ambao kati yao mmoja tulimpeleka Benjamin Mkapa na wengine 12 tuliwalaza katika hospitali yetu ya rufaa ya mkoa wa Dodoma, wengine 9 tuliwatibu na kuwaruhusu. Lakini bahati mbaya katika wale 12 ambao tuliwalaza alikuwa ameumia vibaya, kwa amevunjika miguu pamoja na kifua na tumbo na kichwa, alifariki. Kwa wale ambao baki tumewalaza hospitali yetu ya rufaa ya mkoa wa Dodoma wako 11 na hali zao wote wanaendelea vizuri kama tulivyowaona.
Sana madaktari na timu nzima kwa kuhudumia majeruhi, na maelekezo yangu endeleeni kuwahudumia bila kujali nani analipa nani, kwa sababu hawa ni majeruhi wa ajali. Kwa hiyo sisi kama sekta ya afya niseme kwamba tutatumia wajibu wetu wa kuokoa maisha, wa kutibu, lakini nitoe wito kwa sekta nyingine kadri inavyowezekana kuongeza jitihada za kudhibiti ajali, kwa sababu kinga ni bora kuliko tiba.
The 16th group of 32 households comprising of 188 people and more than 1,000 livestock relocating voluntarily today left Ngorongoro Reserve and headed to Msomela village in Handeni district, Tanga region. More than 2,000 people have been relocated from Ngorongoro to Msomela since the beginning of the exercise.
Mama Samia amefanya kitu kizuri sana. Maana sasa hivi tunalia machozi na ametuokoa. Kule ni fazini.
Mama Samia has done well because she has saved us. The area is a reserve. There is nothing we can do there. Mothers are the ones taking up the most responsibilities, and they are the most affected. Our men also go to stay in other places, but they were also struggling. According to our reports, we have up to now a total of 457 with 2,442 people who have moved and 13,094 livestock. It is a big number, but we continue to call on others who have not volunteered to do so now.
Ndugu zangu, mnakwenda upande mwingine. Mnakwenda wilaya ya Handeni. Mnakwenda Msomela.
You're going to another district. You're going to Handeni. You're going to Msomela. Msomela is active and has become a village that is an example for livestock keeping in Tanzania. It has become a large business area. All of this has come from you beginning to invest in the area. So when you go there, do the same.
The police force has today in Dar es Salaam received 150 vehicles from Ashok Leyland car manufacturing company based in India as part of implementation of the agreement between Tanzania and India to purchase the vehicles through a soft loan that was signed in 2013.
Niwaambie wa Tanzania, sio kwamba haya magari tumepata bure. Tusishukuru mkafikiri tumepata msaada hapa, tumelipia. Ni kwa mkopo, lakini analipiwa na serikali ya Tanzania. Ni mkopo wa masharti nafuu sana ambao taifa letu liliingia mwaka 2013 kwa magari 777. Na kama mlivyomsikia kamishna akisema, magari haya yameboreshwa na kuratibiwa, idadi yao sasa imefika 800 na kitu.
Angalia tulikuwa na mikoa mingapi na sasa hivi tuna mikoa mingapi. Lakini lengo kubwa la serikali ni kupeleka huduma karibu zaidi na wananchi. Tuna kitu inaitwa polisi kata. Sasa tunataka mpaka kwenye kata haya magari yafiche. Kwamba kunapotokea kuna shughuli ya kutumia gari ndani ya kata, iwepo gari huko kwenye kata ya kushughulikia matatizo ndani ya kata.
Biggest development partner in African continent. We have more than $1.1 billion of line of credit. We have more than 700 scholarships per year, and we have a duty-free trade scheme under which 98% of Tanzanian commodities, they go to India without paying any duties. So that is the level of our partnership and the development partnership we have developed over years. Now, under line of credit, Mr. Singh mentioned We have earlier also supplied vehicles to TPDF. We have supplied tractors and agricultural equipment 10 years back. And now that cooperation is going on, as you see today, we had the second tranche of vehicles for Tanzanian police force. Soon we'll be having the third tranche of vehicles.
And the government has continued with the land demarcation exercise at Kilimanjaro International Airport so as to end the long-standing dispute between the airport's leadership and residents, with traditional and village leaders supporting the exercise with a call to the government to find them alternative land for those affected by the exercise.
Mimi nilikuja asubuhi nikaungana nikaja tukaenda mpaka hadi kule mwisho.
I came in the morning and joined in the exercise. We have not left and we continue to work together until the end of the exercise. I urge the residents find alternative land because the key activity is farming and they depend on these farms. We urge you to also protect our residents. When people say that we are troublesome, do not listen to them. This was a long-awaited exercise over 20 years. The government has now decided to come out and put demarcation lines. It has plans to develop Kilimanjaro International Airport. The government, led by Samia Suluhu Hassan, has no need to fight with its citizens, nor to use force.
Despite measures being taken by the government to increase the availability of water for residents in various parts of Dar es Salaam, citizens have urged the government to place effective systems for rationing of the key service so as to avoid the problem of using unsafe water and walking long distances in search of water at night.
Mwezi wa tatu sasa maji hamna. Tunakaa maji tunapata shida kiasi kwamba tunachota maji ambayo sio salama. Watoto wanaumwa matumbo kila siku mundani, yani karibia mtaa mzima huu watoto wanaumwa, watu wanaumwa matumbo kwa sababu ya maji yanakuwa si salama. Kwa hiyo sisi tunaomba kama kuna uwezekano tupate hayo maji ambayo unasema yako katika huu mradi ambao umezinduliwa juu zama.
Hali ya upatikanaji wa maji imekuwa ni shida sana. Yaani imekuwa mpaka sasa hivi hali za shida. Yaani tunapata changamoto kubwa sana kwa ajili ya kuhusu maji.
Mgao ni wa shida. Hakuna tuseme kabisa mgao. Yaani unaweza kaambiwa jirani kule yanatoka maji saa 8 za usiku. Kama kuna jamaa juzi kaja kanifuata jana, kaniambia mtaa 3 huko kuna saa 8 za usiku maji yanatoka. Sasa 8 za usiku na sio hapa. Huwezi kwenda kufuata maji saa 8 za usiku.
That is all for the national news. International news is next. In international news, more than 500 youths today enlisted in the government military forces of the Democratic Republic of Congo, where they will be taken to Kinshasa and later to military training centers. The latest developments come after increasing attacks from the rebel group M23.
Tuna huzuni kuwa kuona nchi yetu miaka 12 ya kupita tumezaraulika, tumevamiwa na nchi jirani, yani Rwanda na Uganda. Tumezaraulika sana, tugombanie nchi yetu.
Langu na kwenda kutetea taifa. Tunateseka sana siku za mingi. Nami najiunga kwenda kutetea uhuru wa taifa yangu.
Ninapanda ndege volontairement niende nitumikie nchi yangu.
And Chinese leader Xi Jinping and US President Joe Biden have met for long-awaited talks that come as relations between their countries are at their lowest in decades, marred by disagreements over various issues that include Taiwan and trade. The two leaders, holding their first in-person talk since Biden became president, met on Monday on the Indonesian island of Bali ahead of a Group of 20 summit that is set to be fraught with tension over Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Biden arrived in Bali on Sunday night as his Democratic Party retained their control of the Senate after performing better than expected in midterm elections. And in Kenya, Interior Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki has announced a change in the leadership of the National Police Service in Nairobi following increase in crime in the capital. Speaking to the press, Professor Kindiki said a small group of criminals armed with knives and other weapons is terrorizing citizens in the city as well as other urban areas.
We have witnessed increasing criminal activity within the city of Nairobi. A small group of criminals armed with knives and other weapons is terrorizing the citizens of this city, as well as a few other urban centers. Those boys who have dared the government and want to tell us that they can take over the city and make it a city of crime, we have also heard you, and therefore we are coming, effective immediately. And we have taken measures to deal with the emerging crime trend in Nairobi. In this regard, the leadership and the command of the police has changed the command of the Nairobi City Police deployment, effective immediately.
That is all for the international news. Business News is next. Now in business news. The Syrian trade exhibition that started on the 28th October this year has ended today in Dar es Salaam, with entrepreneurs giving their views on the event, including on the quality of products and turn-up of visitors.
Because we can show the quality of our TVs. Rarely we get customers who really want to buy things like televisions, because you know right now there is a season for the World Cup.
The feedback is not bad, not good, but it's normal level. But last year the feedback is very good, but now it's a little bit down. You know.
Kwa bidhaa ambazo nimejaliwa kuziona na kuonekana katika maonyesho haya, kiujumla wa Tanzania tupo ndani ya uwezo wa kuweza kufanya hata zaidi ya hichi hapa.
Solar energy company Marcon Solar has launched new products in lake zone regions, as well as training on how to use the technology so as to increase productivity.
Biashara hii ya solar kwa zaidi ya miaka 10 sasa tumenotice kuna magepu mbalimbali kwenye soko.
Being in the solar business for more than 10 years, we have noticed that there are various gaps in the market. For example, we do a lot of business in batteries, and we have discovered there is significant need for car batteries, and we have introduced new ones that will be available nationwide from now. We have introduced e-bike technology, which is where people are moving towards. The company has helped build my capacity, taught me how to run my business, and not to spend money unless it is for specific reasons.
The new Karema port in Tanganyika District Council, Katavi region, that links Tanzania with the Democratic Republic of Congo and has the capacity to handle 1,500 containers in a go, has received 59 vessels 2 months after it began operations.
Kwa upande wa vyombo tuko sawasawa na tumejipanga vile vile kwa siku za mbeleni kuweza kushughulikia makasha.
We are well equipped and we are planning in the coming days to deal with the containers. The area we have now can keep 1,500 containers at one time. We also have sufficient staff. We now have many goods going to Congo, which include rice, flour, and corn.
Ushauri wetu sasa kwa maeneo ya jirani na bandari hii.
We advise areas neighboring the port to use it, instead of using canoes to go and carry goods, as here you are assured that your goods will arrive safely.
That is all for business news. Sports is next. Now in sports. Tanzania Football Federation, TFF, has emphasized that the NBC Premier League will proceed during the World Cup since Tanzania is not participating in the prestigious competition.
Sisi ligi yetu bado itaendelea. Ligi itaendelea kwa sababu hatuna timu ya kombe la dunia.
Our league will proceed because we don't have a team in the World Cup. We'll be watching the match on television. The only thing we can do is to avoid having matches during games with high interest.
The Mkwawa University Golf Club has received a 15 million shilling sponsorship for construction of their golf course from NBC Bank.
NBC kwa mchango waliotoa kusupport viwanja vya golf hapa Iringa Mkwawa University.
First of all, I thank NBC for their contribution to support Iringa golf courses. The bank raised me as my first job after school was at NBC. So I thank them for the support, and they have done something.
Dodoma Jiji Technical Bench says they are ready for their next challenge as they face KMC tomorrow after failing to win in their last 3 games.
Pointi 3 kwetu ni muhimu. Tunajua tutakutana na mchezo mgumu. KMC wanacheza vizuri sana timu yao.
It is important to get the 3 points, although the game is tough. KMC are playing well, and they have a lot of good players. But we believe we will get the result in the match tomorrow.
Manchester United forward Cristiano Ronaldo says he feels betrayed by the club, does not respect the manager Erik ten Hag, and is being forced out. The 37-year-old Ronaldo promised in August that he would live his version of life at Old Trafford after failing to secure a move to a club playing in the Champions League as he had hoped. In extracts from the wide-ranging interview, Ronaldo said people at the club were trying to force him out. There had been no evolution at the club since Sir Alex Ferguson's departure in 2013, and the Scot agreed United were not on the path they deserved to be. And the club showing a lack of empathy when his young daughter was hospitalized in July, as well as he had never heard of previous manager Ralph Rangnick. And that sports item from beyond Tanzania ends our news bulletin for tonight. On behalf of everyone who worked to bring you this bulletin, my name is Vanessa Victor. Thank you for watching and good night.
And get updated on what is happening in Tanzania and around the world on the political, social,